Hello everyone, welcome to the God Mode channel. I am your host, Jaso / the DMGM, joined by my friends hanging out with me tonight for JAMMERCON. What is up everybody? Who else is joining me? Not on this Friday evening, which is when we typically play, but on this Saturday evening.
We don't have an order.
Yeah, right?
There's no order this time. Whoever
What's
wants
up,
to
guys?
go first.
My name's Kevin, and I'll be playing Vairaagy. That's not his name. That's not his voice, but figure it out in a second. he is a giff paladin.
Excuse me, you said GIF paladin?
Giff? Yes, I am giff.
We pronounced it Jeff.
Yes.
He's just made out of peanut butter.
What's up, everyone? I'm Slim. I'll be playing a plasmoid barbarian known as the Collective.
No. I'm Kyle, and I'm playing Roberto Machia. You can call me Bobby. I'm a plasmoid. Well, this one is called a plasmoid. I'm fighting good with guns.
Who's next?
Jason.
Yeah, hi, my name is Jason. I'm gonna be playing as an astral elf cleric by the name of Tylanys. He's ready to go and swing steel and cast spells.
I'm Sarah, and I'm gonna be playing Yllaonna, who is a darkling.
Assassin.
Assassin. Yes. Sorry, on my sheet it just says darkling rogue. I got rid of the assassin part. I don't know why.
I'm happy to have you all. Some faces you see on a typical Friday. Some returning faces with Sarah joining us again. Some new faces with Jason over here to my right on the stream, hanging out with us. He's one of our players in our Tuesday evening start playing games. So happy to have him joining us. Some quick little table keeping stuff before we dive into tonight's campaign. Of course, this is our JAMMERCON special. JAMMERCON running all day. I'd love for you to be a part of this. We still probably have some games running. I don't know if we do, but go check this out. Go join the Discord, see what's going on. And then if you'd like to keep up to date with the streaming schedule, because there's more content when we get done here. We're going to have Better Than Heroes kind of kicking off and overlapping from our stream towards the end of our game. And then later on, we're going to have an all-star stream where I will be joining it, not as a DM, but as a player, able to just sit back and actually not have to run the entire world for once. I can just be my normal self, roll some low numbers on some dice and die, and it'll be a lot of fun. So make sure and check out the schedule over at the Warhorn page and take a look at that. Rob says, what is being a player? We're going to do a giveaway this evening for any US bound resident, unfortunately just because of shipping charges. But if you are in the chat around the middle of tonight's session, so let's say someone remind me at 7:30, Kevin, if you think about it.
Gotcha.
I'm going to be giving away, I've teased this before, but we're going to be giving away
Excited.
a little character called the Baglin. Not only is this a crochet bag of dice created by my lovely partner that can hold your dice inside, but there is a Baglin creature inside who makes it his home. So not only can it hold your math rocks, but he also makes this his home. So you get both of these. Shipping is expensive outside of the US states, unfortunately. But if you're within the US states, be ready at your keyboard, because around 7:30 we're going to be doing that giveaway. First to just smash on your keyboard that you want it will likely get it. The baby. Rob says, I would die for the Baglin.
It's so cute. It's
I
so
told you
freaking
it's
cute.
Bobby. You call me Rob one more time, it's gonna be a problem.
We gonna have a problem.
We have a number of ways to interact in tonight's stream. Not only have you seen probably the tons of stream stickers being slapped down, which you can use by mousing over the stream. You'll see the purple heart over here on the right side. Click on that and you can slap down stickers. We also have Twitch channel points that you can use to interact. Give some players +1s or inspiration, or activate the weird that makes any natural roll of a 1 or 20 for the entire session activate some weird stuff. So make sure and check that out at the bottom left of the chat. See how many points you have, and also use your points to enact some chaos, some benefits to the players. I don't know. We'll see. Just really quickly, too, if you are interested, I do run. Rob already activated it. Oh, shit. All right. Well, we'll have to keep this in mind. Also, if you are interested, I have more slots available for a homebrew Spelljammer campaign Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're interested, I still have another seat or two open. We are just going to be starting our session 0 next week. Come join that. I'm also running 2 different games of Light of Xerxes, the new Spelljammer adventure that just got released with the Spelljammer 5e content. So if you're interested in joining part of that, I'd love to have you. It is pay-to-play content, but I can promise that I'll bring you the same video and audio quality that you expect from any of our streams. Lots of really awesome ambient music and goofy voices, and it'll be a great time. I am certain you'll get your money's worth. Big Mac, thank you so much for the follow. I believe that puts us at the 600 mark. Thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. One more final thing. If you are interested, if you are enjoying JAMMERCON, if you have been riding the raid wave, watching the content throughout the day, and would like to grab yourself a little bit of memorabilia, go over to my shop at godmode.shop. You'll find a cool looking retro distressed black and white version of the JAMMERCON logo on a tee that you can nab. Help support me a little bit. But if you also use JAMMERCON at checkout, it doesn't really help support me anymore, but it will give you free shipping on your order where available. So punch that in. Get you something to hold on to for being a part of this event. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Hang on. Hang on a second.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what happened. Oh, puppy. Lady. Sweet baby.
Puppy issues.
Professional stream. We can pop out of our frame, but we can't silence our own animals. Sorry for the spike in the mics, everybody. Yes, let's dive into tonight's adventure, which is called A Real Gnome Boy. This is a continuation of some characters that have been in our long-spanning streams of D&D here on the channel. All of our games take place in the same homebrew universe. So over the years, there have been a lot of different campaigns we've run, but all of them have taken place in this world, in this universe, where there are overlapping threads and stuff like that. Sarah is going to be replaying a character she used to play when she used to play D&D with us. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm happy to get back with her. But for those of you who have not been a part of the channel or been here to, join in on the story in the past, I just want you to know I'll try to make it as easy for you to understand as possible. It's kind of like a standalone adventure. You don't have to know a whole lot. So I'm happy to have you all. Thank you so much. If you want to support the channel, give it a follow. But let us dive in here. Yllaonna.
Yes.
You stand on the top deck of a hammerhead spelljammer, traveling through wild space towards a location after several days of travel from Relica, the twin-sunned desert planet where you live with your lover/partner, Tall Cat, the Tabaxi. Could you please explain what Yllaonna looks like for us?
She's like very small. She's got a very tiny build. She's pretty much covered head to toe in various, like, she has a mask over her face. She has protective goggles.
Doesn't want to get COVID.
Yeah, well, being on Relica also for so long now, she's trying to protect herself from the sun because the sunlight does hurt her and hurt her skin. It has been hurting her skin for a little bit now, so she's aged a little bit more than the last time that we saw her. So she's just basically head to toe in black and has a cloak over her head, and like I said, very protective face coverings and gloves on as well.
Yes. You are sort of standing at the edge of the ship. The Great Space Plague. At the edge of the ship, staring out over wild space as the ship with the hired spelljammer that you asked to take you on this hammerhead vessel out to this location. You are mulling through your mind as you remember finding the note written to you by your, what would you consider AG, your autognome? Is he a friend, a surrogate son? What would we call him?
A surrogate son. I don't
Surrogate
know why
son,
anybody would
okay.
think anything different.
By your surrogate son, the autognome, aptly named AG. And you remember finding this note back on Relica as he says, and hang on, let me know if this voice is, sometimes through Discord, voices through voice mod are incomprehensible. So if I turn this on, can everyone understand me?
Yes.
Okay. So you find this letter written to you while on Relica that reads,
Dear Yllaonna, I am writing this to let you know I've let myself become captured. Between the heat of Relica's twin sons and the Drylander thieves, things have been rough for the past few months. What is more, Tall Cat doesn't trust me enough to accompany his daughter Catsy on her weekly trade route runs. I know you love him, but I know he does not see me as a real gnome. I want to become a real family, which means I need to become a real gnome. Maybe then we can mend our family. A group of Githyanki rogues were asking about me today. I think they can lead me to a place where I can attain the power to become a real gnome boy. I am sorry for my sudden departure, but feel as though I must take on this responsibility. If you happen to have some free time to come rescue me, I have included the wild space coordinates below. I hope to see you soon, AG.
Yllaonna, you remember thinking back not long after finding this note, the argument, the confrontation you had with Tall Cat the Tabaxi that evening. He telling you that you do mean a lot to him, but he can't leave the settlement to fend for themselves, especially while his daughter Catsy is still running the trade routes. His sense of duty, too strong to be able to pull him away from the planet to help. You remember him telling you that this home is his family. So you did the next best thing. You called upon a few mercenaries, ones you've met over the past few months, in order to form a rescue party. Each of them either owing you a favor or perhaps happy to take a fat bag of gold coins from your leftover funds won via your gambling days over on Halcyon. Your meandering thoughts are interrupted as you hear footsteps from behind you. You turn around to view the rescue team stepping up on the top deck as it looks as though you are probably nearing your location. The four of you stepping up on the top deck. Let's go just in order of the stream pictures here. Jason, what is your character's name and what do they look like?
My character's name is Tylanys He is about 6'3", astral elf, very white pale skin, and equally as white eyes and hair. Doesn't really resemble an elf that maybe a traditional sense, and kind of makes them wonder where he's come from and things like that. And he's definitely interested in indulging upon any who asks down the line.
All right. Slim, you step up along with... how do you pronounce your name again, Jason?
Tylanys
Tylanys. Okay. You step up your character, Slim, along with Tylanys. Again, what is your character's name, Slim, and what do they look like?
They are known as the Collective. It is a giant, about 6 foot tall plasmoid that kind of spills out of like a garbage can with a leather strap across it and forms into it and a shield. It's basically just a garbage can lid. It's a blue plasmoid that's basically comprised of a bunch of other plasmoids that survived a giff attack one time. He is known as, or excuse me, they are known as the Collective.
Nice. Along with the two of you, Kevin's character. Kevin, what's your character's name and what do they look like?
My name is Vairaagy. I am a giff. He is he's pretty tall. He's like 7'5". He's all muscle.
Triggered throughout this entire campaign. This session was GIF.
Don't ask him otherwise if that's what it is. He walks around. He has an air of calm strength at all times. He has red eyes. He's wearing like a deep purple cloak, hood up, but you hear heavy chainmail underneath it. And if you really look hard, there's some sort of symbol emblazoned on his chest. And he carries around a very large maul on his back and a revolver on his hip.
Very nice, very nice. And then the fourth member of the retinue that Yllaonna has hired. Kyle, what is your character's name and what do they look like?
Right, so you guys can call me Bobby. He looks like he's about a 20-year-old human, but, you know, he's just amorphous blob that took on that kind of shape. He's got a coat, right? It's a real nice coat. Let me tell you about this coat. It looks kind of like a greaser's coat from the 1960s. It's really cool. He's got a nice little pompadour kind of sweep, but it's all, like I say, it's all just goop.
All just goop, baby.
And he opens up his jacket and you see like he's got just guns all strapped to him. He's like,
shit.
and if things get weird, I can get weird too.
Wanna get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Thank you, Mousy. The four of you stand on board here. You've all been hired by Yllaonna, and again, you have some undetermined history with her. That's up for you all to decide. But you at least have made, a friend in her enough to be called upon when she needs your help, and find yourselves on board here. Some of you may know one another, or perhaps the four of you have never met. It's taken a couple days travel to get out to this point, this location that Yllaonna needs to get to, and you have mostly stayed to your own quarters, so this is one of the rare times where you've all have been in the same place at the same time and been able to really get a good look at each other, coming together as you feel as though, according to Yllaonna, that you're probably coming up to this destination that you need to get to, these wild space coordinates here in our homebrew plane of the Twixt, to find AG. Yllaonna, you know that despite paying them all handsomely, you still feel like it might be important to fill them in on exactly what's going on here as they all kind of step onto the deck and are sort of ready to be a little bit debriefed on the situation. So would you like to share with them what is happening here?
Sure. Okay, guys. So, AG let himself be kidnapped. He thinks who kidnapped him will turn him into a real boy. And then Tall Cat, him, I, and then Tall Cat's daughter can all be a real family together. So I don't know what they actually kidnapped him for, but obviously we can't turn an autognome into a real boy. So I need him back, and I will do anything to get him back. And we're gonna get him back.
We will find your son. I can guarantee it.
I do have much faith in this as well. Especially given he's willing, perhaps he indulged in some further information of his whereabouts, but he will be found and saved.
Do you know who took him?
Yeah, well...
The note
yes.
had mentioned it was what sounds like a Giff Yankee rogues.
Sorry, I just tell him not.
Did you say Gith?
Yes.
Oh, I will do this for free then.
Oh.
We will do this for free.
So all of you will do it for free?
Yeah. The slimy one does not speak for Vairaagy.
Yeah, Bobby's got to get paid.
Okay.
We'll take his portion, though.
I mean, maybe we could work something out regarding his portion, but, I mean, y'all had your set portions before we, did this.
Collect your sons. I will collect their corpses.
Ooh. Take that.
I swear upon the Lady of Loss, your family will be reunited, and no one will stand in my way. Or at least, they won't be standing if they try.
Perfect. That's exactly what I need.
Has the tall one answered or asked the question of you yet? Are you not a partnership?
We're still, working on things. Titles can get kind of complicated.
You would have to pay me to
But-
remove that one, but I would gladly do it.
Let's just focus on getting AG back first.
Very well.
All right. Yllaonna, you know now that according to the coordinates on the note, the letter left to you by AG, that you are nearing the location. You don't know where this is as you look out in wild space in front of you. Typically, traveling on a spelljammer, you would eventually see some type of planet or, a planetoid, a rock, something you could reach. Here, as you look out, although AG gave you the coordinates, he didn't really tell you where this place was, what it is. So as you reach the coordinates, you and the others begin to look around and try to see what is ahead of you. Everybody give me a perception check, please.
Oh.
And if you're asking, yes, I'm just fishing for 1s or 20s.
I may or may not have gotten a 1.
Oh, no.
Off rip.
Oh, no. Already. Holy cow.
Get those out the way. Get those out the way.
It is just a perception check. I
It's,
can't
yeah,
say
it's
that.
just a
Yeah.
Yeah,
perception check.
it's just a perception check.
Unfortunately, the weird is activated. In our games, the weird is a intangible, unidentifiable permutation that happens in pockets of our plane that sometimes, depending on your physical activity, may interact in strange ways to create some very wild effects. Essentially, you could consider it like the wild magic table. So Sarah, as Yllaonna looks out around, please give me a D25 roll.
A D25 roll.
You also have a +1 from chat, just so you know you got one.
Okay. 1D25. I will, I guess. Well, yeah, I'll use it. Can I use it with this, Jason?
No, these are all random,
Okay.
so you want to hold on to that.
Okay. I got a 22.
A 22. Let me see here. Okay. Yllaonna, you take a second to peer out, and as you are trying to notice, along with the others, where this area may be, so you could land the hammerhead ship, you open your mouth, and this sensation that your mouth is full begins to enter in your mind as you begin to push a just volley of worms. That it's just like this ball of worms that was in your mouth, kind of puking them up onto the deck as everyone else watches
Yuck.
Yllaonna open her mouth.
By the gods, are you okay?
Are you alright?
I don't feel so good, guys.
What kind of sorcery is this?
I don't know.
You were just fine a moment ago. You have no explanation?
No.
This
And then
is...
just like more worms.
Oh, this is weird.
Worms again, yes, Discordian. All of your checks, you have Tylanys, real strong check there. You all look out into wild space up ahead. Everyone has a difficult time noticing anything. In fact, it appears as though there's just nothing there. It's just the blankness of wild space. You don't see any structures, no planets. And Yllaonna, you kind of like think about the note that you left the note back on Relica, but you kind of think about the coordinates that were given to you in that note. And you begin to wonder, like, was AG wrong? Did he mess up somehow? He's a little bit clumsy. Did he screw up when he was trying to write things down? As you look out yourself, Tylanys, you notice something different than the others because of your higher check. Out in the distance, you, similarly to everyone else, don't see any landmarks or anything, but you almost You notice the negative space more so than the others. Out in front of you, all around you are obviously stars and planets and shifting colorations of the waning wild space. But up ahead of you, more specifically, there is a large portion of the space sky ahead of you that seems to be dark, and not just naturally dark like wild space, but completely dark. There are no stars or anything that you can see ahead. It's as if there is a massive dark object that you cannot see that is ahead of you, perhaps blocking what is beyond that.
I don't see nothing.
It seems there's nothing here.
No, I.
As
AG
you all...
must have. Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. I was just gonna say AG must have gotten the coordinates wrong. This it just has to be something.
As you look on saying this, Yllaonna, everyone begins to collectively feel a shuddering on the top deck. The wood planks below you beginning to shift. Everyone ahead looks around, wondering what is happening. You don't see any nearby objects or anything like that. Again, Tylanys, though, you looking forward with your perception check, you begin to see that negative space where there are no stars or anything. It begins to shift. It begins to grow larger. Everyone looking ahead as they sort of kind of just throw their heads around looking for where this is coming from, peers ahead, and you all see from this blot ahead of you, this massive gargantuan blot, a red eye open. A massive eye, likely the size of the ship you're riding on, the hammerhead ship yourself, open. It's alien-like nature, kind of like long, like a predator's, as it peers down towards your ship. And the ship shudders again. You can hear some of the crewmates coming from down below saying, "Object ahead!" You hear one of them say, "Scaver!" And as you all attempt to try to brace yourselves, you see now a maw begin to open as several rows of teeth, this black blob opening up as you now see this large black scaver creature open its mouth and bring it down on the squid ship, or the hammerhead ship. Everyone give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh man, all for it. Okay.
I see it, so I get advantage?
Yes, technically,
Okay.
you would see the eye and the teeth.
I got a 14.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Oh,
18.
Jesus.
16.
I never seen
Anybody,
anything like this. Oh, what's that?
anybody below a 10, it looks like Tylanys and Roberto.
Yes, sir.
Shaking.
Tylanys, you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you are just sort of like catapulted around. Similarly, you take 5 points of damage, Roberto, as the large, massive teeth, each one likely like a whole section of the ship, come barreling down into the hammerhead ship. You each hear the sound of breaking wood. You feel splinters hit the backs of your neck and your sides, and you're all thrown up into the air as the gullet of this thing, the maw of this thing, just crunches down onto your ship. Everything goes black for everyone.
Ah,
Oh.
brace yourselves.
Each of you begin to wake. Some time has passed. You feel yourselves being drawn to consciousness again. As each of you take a second to let your focus come back to your eyes so that you can peer around again, you notice that whatever this place is, it is very dark. The fuzziness of your vision begins to give way. You kind of feel yourself laying on this area that feels wet and damp, and certainly not the ship that you were just previously on, as you try to pull yourselves up off the ground, peering around. You can see now what looks like a massive dome surrounding you. The outer rim of it looks a dark deep red and appears to be the interior of this creature. Immediately... oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering, is it like super, super dark? Like it's really hard for anyone to see?
It's not pitch black, but it is dark enough where there's low light here. So those of you with dark vision have an easier time seeing, which I feel like is pretty much like everybody here, probably.
Probably.
Okay.
I know I do.
I guess just to clarify out of like a spook, I'm gonna use one of my abilities called Eyes of Night, which as an action I can magically share my dark vision, which is like 300 feet, with willing creatures up to my wisdom modifier, which is 4.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Okay.
And it will last for an hour then, and hopefully this way we may have some better vision. Even though I'm sure you were all capable of having the sight to see down here, I just want to make sure there's no surprises. And I raise my hands up as like a big flash emits from my hands, and I would like to think everyone can have a better sense of what they may or may not have been able to see compared to a moment ago.
You have things.
Appreciate it.
You throw this magic up, allowing your darker vision senses to be able to help out those who may not have it. And help it does, as now your eyes very quickly adjusting to the low light here, peering around. You now see a number of what look like plasmoid-like creatures surrounding you. All of them have some sort of either spear or makeshift weapons, some even holding like a pitchfork or two. There's like one plasmoid that's just holding 2 like what looks like kitchen knives your way as they each surround you. They number probably like 15 of them as they all surround you. They say, and again, let me know if this voice is intelligible.
Testing. Can you hear me?
That's lovely.
Yes.
They say,
Who are you? State your business here.
I'm Yllaonna. I was on the search to look for my son, but we got engulfed and I don't know what's going on.
Yes, the pieces of your ship have littered everywhere. There's a few bodies laying around, too. You appear to be perhaps the only ones who made it out alive. What is your business? Saving your son? Who is this?
Yes. His name is AG.
the plasmoids stop. You can see, you can't, they're featureless, but you see their amoeba-like faces, or the facsimile of their heads, that they have taken this kind of broadish humanoid shape, begin to look towards one another. As one of them turns back, one holding a pitchfork, as they say,
AG?
Correct.
He is an autognome. Have you seen him?
They turn. You begin to hear whispers amongst one another through the flapping of the air releasing from their bodies as they communicate with one another. One of them turns and says,
Perhaps you may gather some assistance if we were to bring you to our pirate captain mayor.
Okay.
Can he help us?
Can I do an insight check on him?
sure.
Saying that before we move along.
A lot of fancy titles.
I got a 16.
Indeed, for a fancy person who runs our group here.
16, you said?
Yes.
It's a very strange title, Pirate Captain Mayor, but seems to be making the suggestion that they're going to take you to some form of leader of theirs.
Because
I guess I wanted to know if it was more of like a helpful thing or like we're in trouble kind of thing.
It sounds like you're probably in trouble type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Take us to your leader.
He can help us get out of this place.
They look to one another as you say this, Vairaagy, and more hushed whispers. that sound like light flatulence as they speak to one another. They let you all begin to stand up off of what now you look down and see is probably the back end of the tongue of this creature. You appear to be, as you look around, can see now that you are kind of towards the back end of the throat. You can see probably what looks like, I don't know, it's difficult to tell from here, maybe an entire mile away from you is the closed jaw of the creature. You can see the rows and rows of closed teeth that have come to a close. The only light sources around here are what look like the occasional installment of torchlight that surrounds here. Perhaps in a smaller creature it would irritate having fire lit inside of it, but this creature, this scaver, as you heard on the ship, so massive in size that it appears as though that even setting up a couple sconces with torches doesn't really faze it. They let you stand up, and then the one with the pitchfork says,
Very well. To the great uvula.
and they begin to march you a little further into the mouth of the creature. As they continue to march you in, you can now see, as you look up above you, there certainly is what looks like a ramshackle built facsimile of like a treetop fort, although this one being established around the creature's uvula. You can see scaffolding that runs from the side of it down towards the base, where each of you sort of stand on this wet, sort of sticky tissue or tongue of the creature. As you are drawn near it by this group of plasmoids, you can see that the pieces of wood are just sort of like haphazardly plastered and put together from what looks like various pieces of ship debris. And you can also see clear indications of like portions of your hammerhead ship that is completely decimated, that sort of just scatters the area around here. The plasmoids wait for you to get near the stairs, the staircase that leads up the scaffolding to get up to this great uvula, and they sort of like wait for a second and sort of allow you 5 to push ahead and go first. They're not being aggressive, but they still have obviously like their weapons kind of pointed towards you to just be like, hey, keep moving, as you begin to slowly ascend. Oh, go ahead.
Vairaagy looks back at them and says, "Be careful where you point that thing." With an intimidation. Oh, fucking shit.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's a 1.
Is that a natty one, my
That
friend?
is a natty 1.
Oh, we're gonna get our money's worth for this weird bit. Weird effect. Give me a D25 roll as you say this, Vairaagy. Thank you, Chad. Worms!
5.
Oh.
Another 1.
You say this in what you assume to be an intimidating factor. Everything around you for a second, Vairaagy, almost looks like it grows a little bit larger. You kind of just sort of like rub at your eyes for a second after saying this. Everyone else watches as Vairaagy's size decreases down to small for the next hour.
You're a small giff.
You're a packet hippo.
What happened to our large friend?
How small is he?
He's small now.
Like my size small or
Your
smaller?
size.
Wait,
Oh, buddy.
what is happening?
You were so mighty but a moment ago.
No.
You see the plasmoids sort of like, after they listen to your intimidation, they sort of say,
Yeah, sorry, buddy. Some weird shit that happens in here. You just gotta get used to it eventually. Bill here,
Oh.
his arm turned into a peacock for like 3 days.
Whoa.
Place defiles my perfect GIF body.
That explains all the worms he was eating.
I wasn't eating, they were just coming out.
Wait, you got worms?
Yeah, I kind of like threw up some worms or
Where?
something before we got
Where?
here.
Oh, shit. Okay. Continue.
they say, pointing their sharp weapons towards you.
Gross.
You each begin to ascend the scaffolding towards the great uvula. You can see there appears to be a shack kind of built on a wooden level surrounding the uvula that they've just sort of pieced together. You're a little unnerved as you continue to climb and hear the large creaking and groaning from just the pieces of ship that they've just sort of slapped together for all of this as you continue to ascend. But eventually you climb several stories up to get to the point where the staircase gives way and shifts to a sort of drawbridge that leads across over to the great uvula. They continue to lead you on to this larger looking shack-like area, and there is a piece of sort of like tattered cloth is the main entryway, and sort of continuing to sort of just like gently poke their weapons so that you'll walk inside. One of the plasmoids pulls the curtain so that it goes by the wayside as one of them says,
All right, bow for our pirate Captain Mayor.
and as you peer ahead, you see a ramshackle built throne from what looks like pieces of steel, and it almost looks like it'd be uncomfortable to sit in. It's like an uneven throne chair built from just destroyed spelljammer pieces, and sitting in it, all of you may have met him before, or perhaps you at least know about him, but certainly Yllaonna, you know who this is, as AG sitting in the throne says,
Yes, all bow for me, the pirate Captain Mayor.
Wait,
You've got to be kidding me.
wait. Is this not your child?
AG,
Well.
what are you doing?
I will be addressed as the pirate Captain Mayor, AG, if you will.
The collective looks over to Yllaonna. You are forgetting a title, my pirate Captain Mayor. Are you not an expert boner?
Whoa.
Forgot about that.
I forgot about
Forgot about that.
What is this boner you speak of? I've never heard of this term.
He has collected bones from across the land and identified them as ancient creatures.
They live on
Interesting.
Relica. They collect bones.
at the
We
seat.
may or may not collect bones, yes, and we may or may not be skilled boners. But besides all of that, AG, this is no. You need to get over here right now, and I'm not bowing to you. You're my son.
You now also see Yllaonna and the others. There appears to be, at least you would recognize them, Yllaonna. Katsi is here, the daughter of Tall Cat. She's laying at the bottom of AG's throne in somewhat of like a revealing outfit. She wears a chain collar around her neck as she just sort of lounges there. She looks to you and says, "You should just probably do it. He's not going to talk to you unless you do it."
AG, this is your sister, technically.
Yes?
What are you doing?
Stepsister.
What do you mean?
She shouldn't be held captive like this. And no, I'm not calling you, what is it, pirate mayor, general, captain, whatever.
I like all of
No.
those, yes. All of those, please.
No. Who gave you this authority? What is happening right now?
The plasmoids turn and
Say, that was us. He's our pirate Captain Mayor.
How did he become your pirate captain mayor?
Oh, if you don't know, which it seems like you got a history, but our pirate Captain Mayor here, he serves the best BizWiz beers. They just like come from his chest. And man, we've been slamming those things back. They are delicious. So we figured, hey, if he can make such delicious drinks, he's probably good at running our whole group, right?
That's very valid.
That correlates.
You crowned a keganator?
Yeah, we sure did.
How good is this fizz? Hey, let me have some of this fizz.
It's okay. It's like
Make that too.
mid at best. But
I will serve you
AG
peons if you address me as Pirate Captain Mayor.
Oh, pirate captain, mayor general, please may I partake in your bubbly drink?
See, Yllaonna, it is not that hard.
And he pops down from his throne. He steps on over to you, Roberto, and you see his chest begin to shift and shake. There is a sound emitting from it, and you hear a ding as he pulls his chest open. A soft mist begins to pour out from it, and he grips inside and hands you what looks like some type of tin can with the label on it that says Bizwiz Brewery.
Oh, wow. Microbrew? Let me get one for my boy over there.
That would be delightful. Thank you.
I would love to serve everyone one, but it takes me a little bit to shoot another one out.
Ah, that's too bad. This one was pretty good.
What happens to all autognomes?
Can I do that thing like moms do where they like grab you by the ear and they're like, no, you're coming with me?
Sure. You do that, but AG's like, you're the same. He's like small. He's an autognome, so you're the same size as him. So you grip him by the ear, but he's a construct. He's made of copper and steel, so he's pretty heavy. As he goes,
Wait. I'm the pirate captain mayor. Okay, I'll drop it. You don't have to call me that. But I am the leader of these fine, gentle people here.
I thought you wanted to become a real boy. I thought that's what you were out to do. How did you get sucked into this?
Oh, yes. That is still my intent. You see, I was able to confirm and let these, let's say, ne'er-do-well Githyanki know that there is a place where my old master, the wizard Bizwiz, used to keep a lot of his magical items. I figured if there was any way to turn myself into a real human gnome boy, that would be the best place to search for such an item. So I enticed this group of, let's say, rogues to take me with them as a prisoner to this place. But it looks as though most of what was left of the wizard ship was eaten by this creature. So that's a little bit of a rub. But we're working on that.
Oh.
The cure may be within this giant skiff.
They call it the Big Deborah is what it's called. And yes, I'm not sure how long ago it was eaten, but the others tell me that there may be some refuse from some magical stuff lower inside of the gutty works of this creature that we could perhaps go and find.
Alright, HE. I'm not calling you by that title. We're gonna go and we're gonna find whatever we need to find and explore this place, and then we're going home.
Katsy looks and says, "You're gonna take me too, right?"
Ooh, what? Oh, Katsy. Yeah.
She kind of like gets up and dusts herself off. You now see that like her chain that's attached to her neck just isn't even attached to anything, and she walks over and she says, "I'm actually just wearing this because it's really hot and muggy in here."
Oh. Well, that's better than what I thought was going on.
She like stares at you blankly for a second and says, "Oh, ooh, no. I don't even know that these things... whatever. Let's not go there."
Yes, let's just go about our way.
It is usually osmosis.
Sure. There's really a lot of these guys around here. AG turns to you and says,
Yllaonna, when the Githyanki rogues got here, the ship that they took me on was also eaten. I think that they may have been swallowed deeper.
Okay.
So it may be the case that if we go further in, we will have to deal with them. I do not know.
We have a giff with us too. I think we'll be okay.
Maybe a moment ago, but hopefully his size restores here anytime, but...
No,
it's hard
you
to
said
tell.
they were Githyanki?
That's correct.
Githyanki and Giff are different.
Oh yes, Yllaonna, you are getting confused. My friend here, he says the wrong name. He says GIF instead of GIF.
No, I apologize. You don't understand. We are the proud GIF.
That
Okay.
seems to go against my programming.
You see his mustache begin to twirl, his eyes begin to close and open at the different rates.
You seem to have outdated information about the GIF.
Likely, I am several decades old. Oh yes,
Okay,
Yllaonna, before we head further, I believe the plasmoids here have found a way that could help us escape Big Deborah.
Okay, what's that?
Let me take you all to the cook.
Okay.
He begins to like proudly march out of the shack.
Oh wait, while we're walking, can the GIF explain the difference between his GIF and the other GIF?
Yeah, you follow, like Katsy just grabs her chain link around her neck and just sort of like slings it around, just sort of bored as she walks along with you all.
Well, you see, our past is long and a lot forgotten. There is a bit of an argument among our people whether we are the correct pronunciation, which is GIF, or the GIF. It sounds disgusting even in my mouth to say it such. But the true believers and followers of our history know we are the proud GIF.
Thank you for the clarification.
Not to be confused with the Githyanki, of course.
AG says.
Correct. The GIF Yonki are completely different. They do not have our impressive bodies.
And you're so small when you're saying this, right?
Yeah.
You're muted, Jay, if you're saying something.
Oh, it's a very impressive, very mighty.
Well,
Yeah, you're very impressive.
You know what I look like normally.
I did not know that you possessed the abilities to change your size like we do.
It wasn't my choice.
That's special to your GIF people?
We are the GIF.
Excuse me. That was not a character mistake.
You all continue to follow along with AG, making your way down these scaffolding again, and there's a couple like ramshackle built homes and stuff nearby, some buildings made from the driftwood and stuff like that. As AG leads you over, there's a smell in the air that begins to permeate. It's already kind of like thick and gross. It feels like Florida basically being inside of this caver. It's very muggy. It's very hot. It feels gross. Some of you are already beginning to sweat. Being here just for 20 minutes, 30 minutes from being conscious. As AG continues to lead you on, though, there's a smell in the air, a certain stench that permeates your nostrils. There's a really weird smell. It smells kind of spicy, but also like really, really old clothes from out of a dumpster or something, as it just sort of catches wind as AG leads you into what looks like a setting of a kitchen area, although of course a section of a spelljammer ship that used to be the kitchen has now been slapped together into a section of a wall of one of the buildings here. There is a plasmoid who is over a kettle with a soup spoon spinning. He wears a very dirty sort of chef's hat, and he turns and says,
"Ah, yes, welcome, friends of the pirate Captain Mayor. Happy to meet your acquaintance," he says.
Happy to make your acquaintance. Why does it stink in here?
AG turns and says,
Please, if you would, cook, explain our strategy to these, peons.
Oh.
Except for you, Yllaonna.
Your child is very rude.
He might be going through like puberty or something. I don't know. We just need to deal with it for now until we can get out of here.
Phase, just a phase.
It's
You
just a
see-
phase.
You see the plasmoid cook turn to you and says,
Oh, yes. You see, it's not exactly as though we have a full-on game plan to escape. The jaw of this large creature rarely opens. It seems as though it only needs to eat one large object, probably maybe once a month, every few months. Even if we were to escape out of the mouth anyway, we'd likely just be eaten again by the creature without being able to escape. We'd need some way to be, let's say, evacuated with some emergency. I had been working long and hard to put together this concoction here that I can now fully say is likely ready for testing. It's made from, let's see, diseased rats, 38 old socks stuffed with rotten cheese, lots and lots of chili peppers. We found a ship full of chili peppers. And, well, Phil, he talked way too much. But I can promise you this concoction will give the creature a massive amount, if it is properly dispensed in the stomach, a massive amount of indigestion.
Interesting.
Now, wait. When you say in a plan to evacuate,
Yes. Reports from the plasmoids who made it deeper and returned have mentioned that whoever does that will also have to travel deep enough to unclog Deborah's bowels so that we can be properly evacuated. Apparently there is debris from some type of tower or something that she must have eaten some time ago. We would do this ourselves, but it seems as though there's a nasty band of Githyanki who were recently swallowed. They now currently occupy those deeper territories. We're not sure we can make it down there safely.
Wouldn't
Please.
this not be a good idea? Wouldn't this end up possibly hurting us if we all just get, like, thrown up out of the mouth?
Or
No.
like digested or something.
Yllaonna, I'm sorry. I think they mean the
He's
other.
gonna shit us out.
We can't
Right.
possibly go through any sort of stomach acids
Does it-
or...
Have a. It has to have other orifice.
We are highly resistant to poison and acidic things. As well, we can squeeze through small areas. It should not be a problem for us or Bob. Robbie? Bobby?
Wait.
Bobby.
Bobby.
Robbie.
Bobby.
Just be
Damn it,
wary.
Bobby.
Ha! Nice.
There will certainly be dangers along the way, and yes, stomach acid while you try to dispense the concoction within will certainly be a hazard, so you'll have to look out for that. But the evacuation plan out of the back end is certainly more feasible than trying to go out the front mouth where there are rows and rows of shot teeth. We've seen plenty of plasmoid attempt to do this when Deborah opens her mouth to eat something, but it never turned out well.
What were
It
you
sounds
saying?
like a current solution.
Tylanys, what were you saying?
Just be wary of the blowhole to the south. As long as we don't go towards there, we should be fine.
I think that's where they're
think
pointing
that's
us.
exactly where they're telling us to go.
Are any of you knowledgeable about scavers? Do you all know if the back end has teeth? We're assuming no, but we just want to make sure.
I can do. What kind of check you want for this? Nature?
Yeah, give me like a
Sarcastic.
nature or
Medicine?
history, medicine, yeah.
Medicine, maybe?
Could I take a history check as well?
Sure.
History, maybe.
Any chance to do a free check?
Yeah. Get that
Look at
20.
you.
Oh, look at
Oh
that.
my god. For real? There's been like 3 rolls here.
Yup.
Yeah.
And we've hit it 3 times. Baby.
A
Wow.
D25, please, the collective with that natural 20.
I got a 17.
Okay. With all of your checks, especially with the collectives, you would very easily know that as far as you know, no, there are no teeth on the back end of a scaver.
Yes. There are none visible, but there are some deep within. We should be okay, as long as your solution works.
This effect would... Are you wearing any clothing, the collective?
A shield and just like a leather strap holding on a kind of like a test tube garbage can kind of thing that I just store all my weapons and everything in.
Okay. This would normally affect your clothing, but since you're not wearing any clothes, then this doesn't really have an effect on you.
You're naked?
That would be the normal thing.
I'm a sentient pile of goo.
We don't really have pots to cover up, so yeah.
You
this
have
is
a
just
jacket
show.
on.
Yeah, but I'm like whatever wild universe analog for Daffy Duck it is.
I once wore a shirt. It was made from the man that I consumed.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Wow.
It
That
didn't last long.
Oh.
So,
is a lot to unwrap.
I've stopped many people, but I can't say I've ever consumed.
Yeah.
No,
It's a normal habit.
Please don't consume me.
AG turns
Yeah, no consuming right now.
and says,
Yllaonna, if you and your merry band can get to the stomach along with me and Catsy, we can spread the concoction. And then hopefully, as to what they are saying, clear the blockage in the colon. Everyone inside Big Deborah might have the opportunity to be evacuated out of her so that, well, we can hopefully escape.
I mean, it seems like this is our only option, so sure, why not?
All right, as your pirate captain mayor, we have a game plan.
he says, kind of throwing his fist through the air. The plasmoid says,
All right, let me put this stuff in a few flasks for you. Do not drink this. Do not touch this. I'd probably even try not to look at it if you can. Just get to the stomach and spread the stuff out, all right?
You got it, bud.
You can count on us.
Stomach shouldn't be hard to get to.
he kind of points the pseudopod out a window that has no glass at all. It's just literally a hole, and it's an uneven square.
Just head down the throat. Should reach it in no time.
He finishes loading up the flasks and hands one to each of you.
But what's this taste like again, you said?
Hey, yo!
Oh, yeah?
No, we're not drinking, we're not eating, we're not looking, we're not touching.
Right. Except for this one.
Oh my god.
No time like the present.
Yeah, let's just, I guess, get to it.
Each of you kind of walk out from the kitchen area and can see a gathering of plasmoids surrounding you now, kind of looking down from below the building that this is built on, kind of on like a raised wooden platform. You can see sort of like encircling the building is 30 or so plasmoids. AG holds up a hand and says,
Brothers, the time has come for me to carry on with my group here. They appear to be well and experienced. At the very least, I know Yllaonna is. I, as the pirate captain mayor, will lead my brave group into the stomach to disperse this nasty concoction, and then we will clear the colon area of whatever blockage.
He turns towards you, Yllaonna,
And hopefully find what I need there.
raising like one eyebrow and then the other, as if he was trying to like hint at you, but does it really badly.
And then we can all escape.
The crowd of plasmoids throw up their arms and cheer.
We're finally getting out of here. Our rescuers have arrived.
Alright.
And along the way, I guess we can try to find your cure or your thing you needed to become a real gnome.
Yes, Bizwiz, my master, had many items. I will detail each of them to you if you'd like as we begin to head towards the stomach.
Sure.
Very well. Let's go.
He says, and he immediately begins walking in the wrong direction towards the front mouth of the scaver.
Yeah.
Turn him.
Let's go
You turn him around.
that way.
Yes, this way.
He begins walking in the other direction, out towards the throat, as you each begin to
way.
follow.
my goodness.
Katsy coming along with you as you hear the chants and whoops and hollers of the plasmoids in the distance falling behind you. Katsy turns and looks to all of you and says, who are your friends, Yllaonna?
Well, I'll let them all introduce themselves.
I am Vairaagy.
Nice to meet you, Vairaagy.
The collective's gonna like spindle down into like a blob, but like 8 heads are gonna slowly pop up. We are the collective.
Okay, this seems like a friend that Yllaonna may know. Next.
You can call me Bobby.
I will, Bobby. And who are
Thanks.
you?
I give a bow and say, "You may call me Tylanys."
Okay, you seem slightly more normal than the others. That's fine.
He is the normal one of our group.
I get by.
She turns and says, "Are these like assassins? Who are these people?"
You're asking too many questions.
Oh,
They're just friends that were here to help me get AG back. But we have AG now, who seems to be going through some sort of phase. And how did you even get here with him?
Well, I actually was able to finish my trade routes early, and as I was coming back into town, I noticed that AG was being escorted somewhat roughly by a bunch of Githyanki, so I decided I didn't have enough time to warn you, so I just tried to hide on the ship stowaway. There's too many for me to face alone, but I didn't obviously want to let him get taken, so stowed away and, tried to wait for the perfect moment to free him, but unfortunately, before I could have an opportunity to, was caught myself, and by that time, that's when this thing, she says, kind of pointing around her, ate us. So I'm here now.
Well, hopefully you stay safe, and hopefully we just get out of here quickly, and then we can just get back home. Because it seems like somehow AG was conned into this. I highly doubt we're gonna actually find him.
He's just, it's not a phase. He's like having fun. He feels in charge for once. He's got responsibility. Dad never lets him go on patrols with me, so. Speaking of, why isn't Tallcat here? You guys are like always together.
We'll get into that later. Let's just keep it chugging along.
Okay. You have a shady past.
Okay, that's a very strong statement off rip.
I'm just saying. I'd like to learn more. You're pretty cool.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell Tallcat that I was coming here. I saw the note. I just wanted to go and find AG. I figured that I'll let your father have his space that he's always needing to take care of the city, and I didn't know you were here too, or else I probably would have brought him, but, I'm sure he's going to be looking for all 3 of us soon.
Yeah, Dad is so worried about the town all the time. Yap, town. He needs to sometimes just open his eyes to what's in front of him.
I agree.
The collective's gonna slime in between them for a second. Your father comes from a warm planet, but has cold feet. He's gonna stare at both of them and then look at Yllaonna. She clearly has come from your side of the family.
I guess so. She steps away from the collective and just keeps walking ahead.
She seems nice.
She is. All right, let's keep it going. We don't need to get into all of this right now.
You all continue to press on. There is a bit of a decline as you reach the back of the throat. It's this, if you were not told that this was a throat, you'd never assume it to be so, other than just sort of this massive fleshy structure that begins to descend. You all try to keep your footing from slipping from the just voluminous globs of saliva and interior grossness of this area. But you're able to kind of catch your footing as you begin to descend down the throat, because littered across, similar to the back of the mouth itself, is a number of just sort of splayed out pieces of ships and bricks from what looked like probably maybe some type of spire or something, and you're all able to kind of hop from one to the other, slowly making it down. Everyone give me a dexterity saving throw as you kind of just hop down. Actually, I take that back. A dexterity acrobatics check or athletics check to kind of descend safely.
Okay, so not a saving throw?
Not a saving throw.
Hey, Jason, it's 7:30.
That too.
Oh, it is. It is. While they're making their saving throws, chat, who wants to win, those of you in the US, a cute little baglin? Punch into the chat that I want it. The first person to do so, the quickest on the draw, is going to get this cute little baby. Amanda says me. Okay. Amanda has won the baglin. That feels like insider trading, but I'll allow it. Amanda was the quickest, so she gets this cute little baglin that she can keep her dice in and has this cute little baby. I really do appreciate everyone for sticking around here on the channel in general. We will have more giveaways and probably some more baglins in our future games that we typically do every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Didn't have a session last night because we had 2 players out, but we typically play every Friday nights. Speaking of all of your checks, let me see here. 22, 29, 18, 16. What was yours, Yllaonna?
I got a 1.
A natural one?
Yeah, we're 100% on these rolls.
I'm done
What?
with this. By the way, I'm done with this dice. I'm putting this dice away. I see why I'd never use this set now.
Give me a D25 roll.
Got a little worm hanging out of your mouth there. What's happening?
D25. I
You
got
feel
a
sick again?
15.
15?
Sir. Yes, as I'm putting away these dice that I hate now.
Don't get it on my jacket.
This is one of a kind leather.
Not far away from you all as you're descending here, there is what looks like, just appearing out of thin air, a wooden plaque that's probably the size of a plate. Attached to it, what looks like some type of fish, just like a bass or something. It begins to flip around as though it is actually alive and begins to sing to you some very strange songs.
Okay, I'm ready for the strange song.
It says, "You're about to fall, Yllaonna." It distracts you as you hear this talking fish and you slip on a glob of saliva beginning to fall. Does anyone grab for her or try to save her as you watch? She slips off one of the pieces of wood and begins to descend down into the hole of the throat.
I'll try. Yeah, I'll help out trying to grab her. Like maybe reach for one arm.
Yeah,
What
whoever
athletics
wants to, give me a acrobatics check to try and grab at her.
Acrobatics. I think I got. Let me make sure. Got it. Yeah, I've got an inspiration from chat, so I'll use that on this.
All right.
You got natural advantage at this if you want.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm trying to help you out.
Oh no, grab onto my glob! 23.
You see as Roberto extends this long globby pseudopod arm that you kind of grip onto as you kind of lose your footing from this strange singing fish, and you're able to kind of clasp on as he grips you and begins to slowly pull you back up onto one of the platforms that kind of stuck in the throat of the creature.
We gotta get out of here. There's a haunted demon here.
There is, as I'm like grabbing up on him. It's like slippery and slimy.
Gross.
Yeah, it's slippery and slimy, but not as much as the flooring around you. You're able to kind of pull yourself back up here. It's precarious, but all of you, including AG and Katsy, are able to continue to descend with the flasks in your hands as you continue down into the throat. After about a 20 or so minutes of travel descending, the area begins to kind of level out a bit. There's not so much as a decline. You're able to kind of step on some solid footing, and there is an orifice up ahead of you that appears to be kind of quivering, that seems to maybe transition to some other organ or part of the body of this creature.
Quivering orifice, you say?
Yeah.
Go like it.
That reminds us of our mother.
No.
Oh, zing!
Yuck. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw up webs. Well then,
I
guess we
guess we just
go through the quivering.
How do you go
Orifice?
through it? Explain to me in detail.
what? So
Is
like,
it-
is it like?
It's
is it
closed
like-
right now. It's like tightly closed.
Oh no. Well, I mean, you can try and poke it.
Yeah, let's try to poke it.
Not it.
Not it.
The collective will slowly slime up to it and hand his garbage can full of items to the giff.
Has it been an hour, Jason? Am I normal sized?
Not yet,
Damn it.
unfortunately.
A cool feature of the plasmoid is they're kind of like the fairy folk. They can be really, really tiny and shrink down. So as long as there's like an inch of space, he can just like slime through. Just think of any bad movie from the 90s, and he turns into a bunch of goo and just slowly starts to try and prod and slime through the quivering orifice.
That is disturbing.
Katsy like
Neutral.
holds her hand over her mouth as she's disgusted watching this happen.
We can see the other side.
You watch as the collective begins to just slip through this tiny space, this opening. You watch as this kind of sphincter-like organ begins to quiver, and as the collective finishes slipping through it, it begins to slowly open and reveal a new area here. As each of you step through, you find yourselves in a new area. You can hear the sounds of sizzling around you as it appears as though you have entered into the stomach.
Ugh.
It is Florida.
I thought the stench would have gotten better further way down. Furthest from the truth.
We're going towards the stinky end.
I don't know, it doesn't mean I didn't have hopes.
You can see up ahead that there are several sort of like folding membranes of the stomach that kind of shift and churn. Up ahead, the sizzling sound appears to be coming from these pockets of collected, what you assume to be stomach acid that has collected up. You can actually see pieces of debris sort of jutting out from portions of it. Pieces of rotted wood from mayhaps a ship or some type of device, fleshy bits of maybe some creatures who met their unfortunate end and were digested. Also of note, as you peer around here, you notice several what look like strange looking oval shapes attached to what look like parts of the membrane that kind of wrap themselves around. They are somewhat translucent and seem to swirl in the interior with like a purple glow to it. Along with that, down below you also see kind of huddled over what appears to be a kind of broken down section of the organ that has a little bit of a decline, sort of like a slight little dug in area. What looks to be a Githyanki that doesn't appear to have noticed you yet. It seems as though they're sort of like leaning with their back up against the dugout wall of this kind of side stomach area here. And amongst the sort of like nasty sounds of the pulling acid and stuff around you, they don't appear to notice you. So, with all of that said, what would you like to do?
So this is where we must spread this concoction, correct?
Speaking to the group.
I believe so.
Yeah, they told you the stomach area.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
I guess before things start to get too hectic, I'm gonna go and cast Bless on the other four. So I guess the collective, Vairaagy, Xylera, and the homie Bobby.
Tylara.
Tylara, thank you. Oh,
No,
I looked at the wrong
Yllaonna.
name. Yeah, Yllaonna. I was looking at your other name.
I was like, who's that?
Yeah, right.
Okay. And what is bless gives us like the 1d4 or something?
Yeah, plus 1d4 on the rolls. Yep.
Okay. And we can see this person over here, Vespa or whatever.
Yes, you're able to see this Gith Yankee down here. That's right.
Okay.
Kind of like the back portion of her as you kind of peer down that way.
Okay. I would like to be stealthy during this.
Bobby draws two guns and says, "I'm right behind you." He is also stealthy.
With that being the case,
I am not stealthy.
I'm not the most stealthy myself.
I will watch your back, though.
I wish to destroy the Gith.
Okay.
You do mean the giff Yonki, right?
Yes, the non-gray-skinned creature over that one.
I'm gonna roll stealth real quick.
Okay. Those who want to be stealthy, please give me a stealth check.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go and cast greater invisibility on myself.
Oh, okay. Nice. You all watch as Tylanys, with a flicker of his wrist towards himself, just appears to disappear from this area.
A useful ability.
Very useful.
I say I'm not giving my heavy armor and mighty hammer. I'm not the most stealthy, so I figured I can at least give this a go.
Who said that?
Yes. Ooh, spooky.
Holy shit, this place is haunted and it's got demons.
No, I'm just pulling your leg. It was I.
Stay away from my leg, demon.
Goo.
I got a natty 20, which gives me a 32.
Okay, natty 20. I mean, can we get through one group check?
No.
Give me a D25 roll, please.
She is also invisible.
Oh, I wish.
5% chance turns out to be 1 in 5 chance.
D25. A 12, my favorite number.
Very good.
Give me a D20 roll, please.
Another D20 roll?
Yes.
A 3.
Okay. Nothing immediately happens.
I don't like the wording behind that, but okay.
Nothing immediately happens.
Nothing immediately happens. All right. So I want to move.
And then if you guys want, if everyone made, I'm assuming it looks like the collective, Roberto, Tylanys did greater invisibility, Zylara, Vairaagy, are you not? Are you Yllaonna? Vairaagy, are you not making a stealth check?
You're on mute.
You're on mute, Kevin.
I did not. I'm gonna kind of keep back from the group and bring up the rear.
Okay. Well, then what I'll say is those of you who did roll a stealth check, I'll say collectively give me an indication of where you'd like to move to as a group.
Following Yllaonna. She's the boss.
As a group?
Yes.
Okay. And from what I understood, we're scattering everything out throughout this stomach.
You want to try and, from what the cook told you,
these?
use your flasks and just sort of sprinkle it around, whatever you can do to spread it out.
All right, let's go to this one first, I guess. And
As
see,
you
like,
step
the
there,
reaction.
Yllaonna, you can see up ahead these strange-looking oval-like shapes that are sort of covered in some of the tissue of the stomach, seem to quiver a bit as you walk a little bit closer. Please give me a actually, never mind. You already made your stealth check. Nothing happens.
Okay.
It is.
And then I will sprinkle the flask I have on this.
Okay.
Oh,
You kind of
it smells-
unpop the cork. The smell that permeates into your nose is disgusting as you kind of hold it at arm's length and just sort of tip it onto this collection of whatever this organ mass is. What is everyone else doing?
I think,
Doing the same.
yeah, let me just measure something out quick.
Vairaagy's just hanging back, keeping an eye out. I guess I'll do a perception just to make sure. Like I said, I'm just watching
Sure.
for threats.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, I see this person down here, the giff.
Mhm.
I forget what the other name was. What does it? Can I do a perception check to see if I can tell if they're like asleep or like what they're kind of up to, or just like keeping guard?
Sure. A perception, or I'll even take an insight.
Yep. That's cool.
Vairaagy, you, with your 11, don't notice anything out of place other than the kind of shifting folds of the stomach that kind of slowly moves in this place. Tylanys, with your 20 insight, you can kind of tell from the way, again, you kind of see them, they're in this sort of like dugout down here in sort of like a ripped portion of the stomach that looks clear. You notice that they're kind of like, their back is pushed up against the wall. You're looking at sort of like the backs from shoulder up, like bust up. You notice from the way that they're moving with a pretty strong 20 check, it doesn't appear that this giff has noticed you, and B, it appears as though they may be grabbing at some portion of their body. You get the sense with your check they may be wounded.
Right. Well, everyone else seems to be working with these pods. I'm gonna begin to make my way to the other one.
Okay.
He looks up and says, "Oh, look, probably some open wounds. I bet that'd be a great place." And he also walks that way, like step by step behind you, like a Scooby-Doo would be.
As you pop over, both of you please give me athletic checks to jump over.
And then I'm gonna add a +1 that someone in the chat blessed me with to my roll.
All right.
I naturally have advantage at this for some reason. 21. Oh, yeah, 21.
Both of you easily kind of pop over the acid pool and begin to make your way over to the set of organs or whatever this is here.
Take a few movements up, not too much further though.
Being that I would think Bobby isn't aware that he's following me, I'm gonna... Bobby, I'm right here.
Oh, shit, it's that fucking ghost.
No fear. It is just I, Tylanys. I'm going to begin to put some of... Unless you want to take care of this one, I can go to the next one, and then I have an ability where I may be able to teleport 30 feet to where we can regroup with everyone else, so you can make your way back to everyone else after you take care of this one. But do be sneaky.
Yay, sure. I'll do whatever you want, ghost. Just don't hurt me.
I would never hurt you, my blob-like friend.
Of course not, because I'm gonna do as what you asked.
Chuckle and walk away to this
See?
You go over to
I'm
that
doing
one.
it, ghost. I'm doing it.
Tylanys, Bobby, I'm assuming you're both sort of uncorking your concoctions and pouring them over this mass of organic matter.
Again.
Okay. Both of you, please give me a sleight of hand check.
And you have another +1, Jason, and inspiration.
Cool. And I will use my +1 towards this bad boy right here.
All right.
And if I want to use inspiration, would I use that as the re-roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was the...
It's advantage. Yeah, it's like an advantage.
Oh, then yeah, I'll
You have
just
to
use
declare it before you.
Sure, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll use the +1 and the inspiration for that.
Okay. Sure thing. Roberto, you start sort of sprinkling yours onto this this mixture of organic matter. You kind of turn your head to notice that the giff doesn't appear to have noticed you. She appears the back of her head is kind of looking down. She seems too drawn in by whatever's happening over on her end. Tylanys, you go to pour your concoction over this mass over here. As you do, it begins to quiver, just like the others, but it begins to quiver more violently than the other groups do. And as it continues to quiver, the tissue underneath your feet begins to shake, and some of you in the room can also feel the slight tremor underneath your feet. Some of these oval-like purplish shapes that you see ahead of you, Tylanys, they begin to pop. You reel back as this gross liquid kind of flings across the room, and you see now wringing themselves out and coming towards you is a number of nasty-looking worm-like creatures that appear right here, as I need everyone to please roll me some initiative.
Yeah.
This whale has worms just like you, Yllaonna.
So funny.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all.
Shit, better learn how to play my character fast.
I don't know why I popped into the turn order twice.
No, that's probably me. I had to do it twice
okay.
by accident.
I thought I did something.
No, that's me.
Oh, I did roll advantage. Okay, so 18 total.
Okay. Yours is more than the 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me do this here. Okay. Let me grab my phone so I can do some dice rolls from the phone here.
I'm not on the list. I have to add myself or something?
I'll add you here. Hang on.
Okay.
Katsy and Yllaonna are gonna kind of stay back.
I have a crossbow. I can
I
always...
don't know why this won't let me just. There we go. It's gonna say delete.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me check this stuff here.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna use the restroom.
Okay, these guys got 12.
Oh, this song's pretty fire.
I know. It's pretty sick.
That snare just hit. I should've
We'll do descending. Okay, let's kick things off. Sarah should be back by the time she needs to put her turnover in and shit. We'll have to wait for her to get back. Thank you so much, Neo Soul God, for the raid. That was very nice of you. Thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. If you are enjoying the content so far, please give the channel a follow. I'd love for you to be a part of the community so you can get notifications when you go live as well. The party's currently trying to make their way through a massive, gargantuan scaver here in our JAMMERCON special one-shot, trying to spread out this cocktail so that they can be evacuated out of the back of it and be free.
I hate it so much.
Hey Jay, so did you happen to make any JAMMERCON shirts? Are they out there in wild space?
Yes.
Sorry.
I was saying at the beginning.
I put
Yeah,
15 in and it didn't let me.
you can go over to godmode.shop and grab some if you want.
There we go. It's in.
Should be godmode.shop. There we go. Go there. Okay, let me do by descending. Yeah, grab you a commemorative item. Go over to the shop. Use code JAMMERCON to get free shipping on anything. By the way, if you want something other than the shirt there. Let's kick off combat here now that Sarah's back. Thank you for coming back. Bobby, you are up first, my friend. What would you like to do?
Holy shit. Shit's popping off. Does the Githyanki, has it seemed to like noticed us at all?
As these, what you can assume probably eggs now, have begun to burst and these larval creatures have kind of come out of these sacs, the Githyanki now begins to sort of like throw an arm over the edge of like the fleshy cutoff at the edge of the stomach and turns with a surprised look on her face, seeing you all have entered into the room without her noticing. Yeah, so she sees what's happening here.
So, friend or foe?
She looks and sees what's happening over near Tylanys as she says,
friend, and hopefully not dinner.
Excellent choice. And he turns around and he starts blasting.
Shoots her in the face.
I'll go for the guy closest to me here.
Sure thing.
Boom. Oh, shit. 13 to hit.
13 hits.
Way! Boom, boom, boom. It does 13 piercing damage.
With 13 piercing damage, you just watch as this larval-like worm creature just explodes.
What? Oh, shit. And then at the one just past it, same roll. Hit. 14 hits for... It doesn't show me 10 damage.
It explodes in a mass of fire from your pistol.
Fine shooting, my gooey friend.
Thanks, Ghost. 1, 2, 3. Was it a check to get over these pools? Is that what was happening?
Just an athletics check to jump over.
Yep. 4, 5, 6. Athletics check. At advantage. Oh, I think it's advantage to escape and grapple, so it's just a normal. 18.
Yeah, you're fine.
Shit's popping off, boys. And Miss Yllaonna.
Anything else, Bobby?
That I think is it. Let me double check bonus actions here. I don't think I got it all. Yeah, that's it.
All right, the collective, you're up.
Bonus action rage. I'm going to slowly spill out of my the rest of my trash can, and my hands are going to turn into sharp razor-like claws, and I'm taking the sticky substance of my body and jumping across, landing on that ship, and then spilling over. I can run on walls freely.
Oh shit, okay, cool.
I do one athletics check to get across.
If you can run on walls, is that one of your abilities? That's what you're doing to flavor getting over here?
Yes, that's one of his abilities.
Okay, then I'll say no check. We'll just flavorly say that ability gives you the ability to kind of just pop on over.
You can check the distance for movement. Over to there, and then jumping across. That should be 40 total.
Okay.
Take a few swipes at the other little goop worm.
The goop worm.
It's 2 attacks, 11 and a 13.
The 11 hit. The 11 won't hit. The 13 will. Sorry.
That is 10 slashing damage. Oh, excuse me. Yes.
Go ahead.
That's 12 because of rage.
Okay, you watch as it explodes. It appears as though whatever the sack thing was appears to have shot out what was left of the roundworm creatures inside of their eggs and is no more.
I give like the collective tap, like a little like shoulder grab, but like my hand kind of like oozes through him, and I'm just like, oh, you plasmoids, I'm awfully big fan. You've come in clutch quite a bit.
Bobby, we feel the ghost. It is touching us.
I told you this place is fucking haunted.
Oh, you blobs.
Anything else, the collective?
That's it.
Yllaonna, it is your turn. You don't see any other enemies, but now, similar to the one that Tylanys was near, Tylanys was near, you see the egg sacs now that you can probably determine next to you beginning to quiver more and more violently.
Okay. But nothing's come out yet.
Nothing's come out yet.
Give me 1 second then.
You suppose all that squiggling noises from these big old container-like things?
Can I do one check, like a nature check, and then do an action?
Sure. Knowledge checks are free.
Okay. I want to do, I guess, nature? Is that what
Okay.
you want on this thing?
Yeah, that's fine.
To see if I shoot my crossbow into it, if it'll just make them come back out, like, and not actually do any damage.
You got a +1 for Mama Bear.
Yeah, I'll use my +1.
All right.
Oh. 9.
You feel like if you're to fire into this mound of these egg sacs before they maybe potentially burst, you could probably maybe try and potentially wound some of them before they hatch. That's what you get out of that check.
Okay. That's what I was hoping for. Can I move... Oops. Can I move back 1 and then do, would... Well, I don't feel like I need to do assassinate or anything. I think it'll be fine. I'll just do, my crossbow.
Okay, okay.
Where is that? Or short bow, I guess. I'm just gonna let the thing do it.
Whoa. Woohoo.
That works?
Nice.
Oh, I didn't mean to do it twice. Sorry, it's the first one.
You fire a well-placed shot right into one of the egg sacs. As it quivers, you can see the egg sac pierced by your bolt as this gross viscous fluid, this kind of pinkish yellowish bile spills out from it, and you can see the bolt stuck through the neck of a premature larval-like or worm-like creature as it sort of spills out dead.
Sick. I'm done.
All right.
I don't think I have anything.
As you, in your turn, spilling out from the other 2 eggs nearby Yllaonna are 2 of these creatures. And then down below, just a little south of you, Collective and Tylanys, the egg sacs down here burst as these creatures pull themselves from what is left of this organic matter and attempt to attack. They are all sharing initiative, so I'm just going to go from top to bottom. This one's going to crawl over towards you, Vairaagy. It is a similar size to you now that you are smaller, unfortunately. Let's see here. It is going... Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna. There isn't any like mechanical change to my character because of this, is there?
No, I don't think so. It tries to grab at you with its mouth for 17 versus AC.
Ooh, yeah.
It hits you for a total of 1 point of piercing damage. But this larva-like worm creature, you can see it now as it grips onto your shoulder. It tries to kind of bite and then begin to push as it attempts to burrow into you. That is it for that one's turn. The other one's going to move now, kind of moves over here down towards Bobby. It's going to attempt to make a bite attack. 14 versus AC.
Oh, it just hits, yeah.
Bites into you for 3 points of piercing damage, and you watch as your form may be a little bit easier to get into than Vairaagy's as it begins to try and bore into your body to infest you.
Whoa, hey, yo!
These down here, let me see, begin to move up towards you, the Collective, and Tylanys. Let's see, they are done. That brings us to Tylanys. You are up.
How long is this combat, do you think, or since we've been in this room, how much time do you think is going by?
I'd say, because you have like a minute on your invisibility.
Yeah.
I'd say you still have enough time to maybe get an attack off while you're invisible, if that's what you're planning to do.
Yep, I'm gonna sneak up on this clown before he notices me, and I'm going to pull my warhammer from my back and say something in Celestial as it starts to glow, and I'm gonna try and hit him with my warhammer with an additional divine strike.
Oh shit, okay. With an 18, what's the damage on that?
That would be... So the divine... So I'm just gonna do it one hand.
All right, so 13 bludgeoning damage. What does it look like when you kill this thing?
As I lift the hammer up, it appears squashed, but also there's like a bit of astral radiance coming from it as it just explodes, and goo goes all over myself and collective. And the moment it looks like goo's just kind of hovering in the air.
Yeah.
But after that, I take form and I just have this disgusted look on my face as I rub the goo away from my face.
All right.
Oh, Tylanys is the demon.
No, just one that wields spells, you know.
Very nice, Tylanys. Anything else?
I will do a... What is it called? Actually, I'm just gonna chill and hold ground with the collective.
Okay. In that case, Vairaagy, it is your turn, my friend.
Alright. Well, I guess I'm gonna try to pull off the one that's trying to burrow into me. Can I do that?
Sure. Give me a strength check.
Okay. I have advantage on strength thanks to being a giff.
Nice.
And I also have a +2 on saves. Any saves thanks to my... Oh, is this not a save? Or is this... Sorry.
This would be a check, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So I actually don't... Sorry. So just straight strength is... 16.
Okay, yeah, you grip at this thing, and using an action, you're able to kind of rip it off your body. You do feel as though if it was still connected to you at the beginning of its turn, it would continue to bore into you, but you kind of pull it off. A little blood sort of flicks out of your shoulder where it was trying to burrow into as you kind of hold this thing in your hand. You can see its gaping kind of tiny teeth beginning to form in its mouth, this larva, as you hold it in your hand.
Disgusting. You said that took my action? Or...
Yes, your action, yep.
I can't, could I know I can't throw this thing into, that pool of acid, can I?
I'd say you could do that. Okay. Give me a athletics check to kind of toss it coordinated into one of these pools of acid.
And again, thanks to being a GIF, I have advantage on athletics. Nat 20. 24.
Natty 20. Please roll a d25 for me, and then we will talk about the result.
24.
All right, a 24. Let me see here. Will you please choose a non-magical item in your possession that weighs 1 pound or less?
1 pound or less?
Yep. Just pick one and tell me what it is.
How about, I guess my tinderbox.
Okay. Kind of strapped in one of the pockets of your armaments is your tinderbox. You kind of see it peeking out from the corner of your kind of fold down pocket. You watch as in a momentary fleck of light, the tinderbox disappears forever.
Well, alright.
But it is a natty 20.
Throw this thing in the acid.
Yeah, you like not letting that bother you at all. You just like spiking a ball in a sport or something, just toss this thing into the water. It hits it, and you can see noxious fumes spreading as the creature throws its head in the air as the acid from the kind of pool here burns it to death.
Disgusting. I'm done.
All right. That is going to be the Githyanki's turn. She turns and sees what's going on and pulls a spear out with a good arm and flex it towards this one down here that is towards you, the south of you collective, and Tylanys. The spear gets close, but catches in the sort of rolls of the stomach folds here next to it and misses, unfortunately. Shit, she says, as we roll back up to Bobby.
Shit. Alright. So, I've got a rule of cool ruling for you.
Okay.
As a plasmoid, I can eject 6 inches by 10 foot long, like, tube of, like, myself. As an action, can I do that with my arm that he's attached to? Just like a whoop.
So you can just detach parts of your body at will.
Yeah, here, let me put it in. As an action, I can reshape my body. Oh, that's... No, yeah, it is. You see kind of halfway down there as a bonus action. The only thing is it has to be a tiny object for it to interact with, and I'm really just, like I say, just ejecting it with it in it.
This can be turned from an action to a bonus action, and it will give you advantage on your check, your athletics check, to just pop this off, to get this thing off of you.
Holy shit, let's do that. Athletics. Advantage. Blub, blub. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. You kind of do this thing. It's not so much you just, like, ripping your arm off, but you just, like, quickly retract your humanoid-like arm that you have to try and, like, get it to smack up against the side of your body so it'll stop boring into you. But unfortunately, you kind of, like, pull your arm back and it goes along with you, and now it's just attached to the side of you, still trying to, like, bore into the side of your body.
Oh, no, that made it worse.
But that still counts as just a bonus action, so you still have your action.
Alright, so then my backup is I am a grappler and a gunslinger. Both of those feats mean that I have advantage on gunshots when I am grappling something.
Okay.
I'm good with you calling this grappled or not, whatever you like.
Yes, technically, yes.
Alright. Oh shit, so I started blasting. At advantage. Blah, 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 blah. As soon as those numbers show up. Oh shit, I crit.
What is this game? What is this game? Give me a D25
This
roll,
is
please.
nuts.
Gang.
We never roll like
16,
this on our
so
normal Fridays. What the heck?
25.
No. Are they watching us? What's happening?
Oh shit.
Roll 20s in the
I'm
chat.
using real dice, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You are indeed able to just sort of like use your other pseudopod holding your pistol and just kind of wrap around the other side where this thing is attached to you and just sort of like pointing it right at the head of the creature. You just sort of like blow it away as all that ends up around you and kind of falling away from you are just sort of flecks of flesh from the creature. However, you hear the sound of what, for whatever reason, sounds like keys on a piano, but they're being smashed together, maybe all at once. As you look up above and seeing a large piano falling towards your head, please give me a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save.
You did say Daffy Duck.
What up? Oh, 10.
You're able to get out of most of the way, but you're clipped by the side of the piano that kind of bounces off. You're not sure where this came from. Maybe it was stuck in the folds up above, but it kind of smashes into the acid lake and begins to dissolve. You end up taking 9 points of bludgeoning damage from it as it clips you.
He just stands there shaking his head.
In my mind, it hit you and like removed where your head was, and it just sort of grew back.
Yeah, there
okay
you go.
with that. There's just 2 eyeballs in the middle of my chest as it slowly rises back.
Yeah. Okay, anything else, Bobby?
Whoa. I think that's it.
All right. That brings us to the collective. You're up, my friend.
Oh, that's great. He speaks Giff they speak Giff and stretches just a little, looking up at the Gith across and yells, "Did you intend to throw that spear at us?"
You're saying this in her language?
Yes.
She responds back in Gith and says, "Maybe, until I find out if you're friend or foe, but no, I'm trying to kill these creatures."
Yells back, "Heed your words and actions," and spills forward and attacks the other little slimy monster thing. Worm.
Everybody's a slimy monster. What?
Everyone. The little pink worm. Digestible.
All right. Oh, yeah.
3 attacks.
Yeah, the first attack hits, roll your damage. Oh, yeah, what does it look like when you kill this thing?
Just a venom-like pseudopod comes reeling out of his body and just splashes straight through it.
You watch as the collective just rends through what is left of this thing, shredding it to ribbons, as the collective cuts down what looks to be the last of these nasty creatures around each of you.
Continue my movement and just kind of cling on the wall as my rage falls and eye the Gith down.
Katsy and AG begin to sort of push up ahead. It's at this point, Vairaagy, that it appears as though your size begins to increase. Your smaller form gives way as you become medium-sized again.
Did you say you wanted athletics if we want to cross over?
Yes, please. An easy athletics check.
Easy, you're saying.
Yeah, it should be.
I'm gonna walk across this piano with the same thing.
Athletics or acrobatics? I'm sorry.
Athletics.
A 2.
Yep.
I will say, first off, give me a D. You're jumping over 2, Vairaagy? Is that what that roll is for?
Yeah.
Give me a D25 roll. I
Yeah,
cannot
okay.
believe these fucking rolls. We never get this in our normal Friday night games. What's happening here? 14. We may have had that one before. Let me take a look.
You're gonna get small again?
Appearing on what is the last flex of probably the ship here that's sinking into the stomach acid. Yllaonna, you go to jump, and there is a familiar sound as you hear, "Yllaonna's gonna fall into the stomach acid." And you begin to slip, falling into the stomach acid, taking 6 points of acid damage.
Oh shit, get out of there.
You feel the stinging sensation against the side of you as you quickly sort of like roll against the rolls of flesh, falling out of the pool and pulling yourself up to where you are here. Vairaagy sort of lands next to you as AG and Katsy come over and kind of take some time to pop over themselves safely.
The demon bass has returned.
Goddamn demons, goddamn haunted house, I tell you what.
You said 6 or 16?
6 points of acid damage.
Okay. Oops. Okay.
Did you get my 14 for my weird roll?
Yes, that was the bass.
That was the basic. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, so his weird roll, like,
Yeah, it messed you up.
Just flavor. I'm saying flavorfully. Yeah, flavorfully messed you up. Just because that's the lore we built, is all these weird bass appearing in here.
okay.
These strange singing fish.
You see the Gith sort of like take a look at each of you. She pulls herself back as you begin to approach, just sort of cautiously watching you all.
We're not here to hurt you. We just
Who
want
are
to get
you?
out of here. Is AG gonna walk up here, or do I have control of AG or no?
Yeah, AG comes with you. Yeah, AG like they take their time so they don't fall in. So Catsy and AG come along with you.
Okay. I was here rescuing my son, AG, and I point to AG.
That's. She shakes her head. Okay, that's sure.
Okay, I think that's all you need to know. Who are you and what are you doing here?
She begins to form a bit of a scowl, but winces. You can see her sort of like holding her side, and now you're able to see there's a large section of her side that seems to have burned through her armor, probably the fluid nearby. She's taken a nasty burn mark on her side as she winces and says, I was part of the crew that was hired to take this little autognome with us. He promised he'd lead us to some treasures, some powerful items, so we decided to see where it would go. Took him from your planet, or wherever you're from, and he led us to this location, only to have our ship destroyed by this creature.
So wait, you weren't kidnapping him to make him a real boy like he told us?
A real boy? What are you talking about?
Were you not part of the team that kidnapped this autognome?
Well, yes. He told us about a wizard's tower that had a bunch of magical items in it. That's what we were going for. AG leans in towards you, Yllaonna, says,
I did not tell them that part, Yllaonna.
AG, I am so tired of you today.
I was attempting to
Alright.
hopefully abscond with it without them noticing.
Okay. Can we, I guess, help this person?
sure.
Yes.
How do you want to help her?
Let me see what I have in my inventory.
Into the acid.
No, I'm not into the acid yet.
Gith, what is your ship's name?
She looks and says, does it really matter anymore?
I would like to finish the crew that attacked mine. What is your ship's name?
It was the Great Scavengers.
Does it sound familiar?
We're a small band. We don't really have a ton of connections. We saw this as an opportunity. Are you helping her up, Yllaonna?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming you're just giving her like an arm support type of thing?
Yeah, because I don't have any, like, health type things to help her currently.
Okay.
But I'm
That's
at least
fine.
going to help her up and, like, get her in a decent...
Yeah, you like help post her up. She kind of winces, gripping at her side. You can see the burn mark. Looks like it was pretty nasty.
And then, as she helps her up, I'll cast a good old... I chant something celestial as I cast a healing word on her.
You watch as her side that was kind of burned begins to shift away. Not completely healing it, but probably removing some of the pain and some of the deeper burn marks that were within as she begins to cough a little. That feels better. Thank you all.
Tylanys,
Mm-hmm.
do you have any expertise in medicine?
Yeah, I do. I know a bit. Given my tutelage under my god, I've learned quite a bit in many aspects of combat and of healing, so I do believe I can help.
Do you know if one of those creatures have burrowed into her?
Let me give it a look-see. I'm gonna take a step closer, and then I'm gonna take a medicine check to see if I can identify anything particular about one of those creatures. Maybe like a wound or something that looks like it.
that makes sense.
Holy shit.
She's like a little wary as you step up, but you're the one who healed her, so she kind of eventually just removes her hand so you can see the extent of the burn at her side. With a 23, Tylanys, as you check over her side, you can clearly see that this was caused by probably her falling into one of these pools of acid. It doesn't appear as though there's any sort of indication to you that would lead you to believe that one of these creatures was able to burrow inside of her. Looks like she just took a nasty fall into the acid.
Yes, I see. Luckily, was that the collective that asked? Or was it the...
Yes.
Luckily, the collective. It seems that it was just... This injury comes from that of a burn. It doesn't seem that one of these creatures burrowed inside, thankfully. Otherwise, we would need to do surgery immediately.
Thank you.
No, thank you. That was a terrific idea. I'm not surprised, given that seems you may have many minds working for one.
Slowly drooling out of himself.
She looks to you and says, "So you were saying you had a plan to maybe get out of here?"
It is a plan. It is a bit disgusting, but it should work.
Okay, so what is it?
He pulls out his flask that he hasn't spread yet.
Spread this in the stomach here, causing distress.
Explosive expulsion.
She takes a second and winces as she goes, "Oh, I think I understand.
It's either that or the teeth.
I don't want to go back that way, I guess. No ways seem particularly appetizing, to be honest."
Yep, we're taking option number 2 as well.
Nice.
Out is better than in, I suppose.
This is gross. Alright, so you spread this stuff out. What is it? It's just some nasty juice that makes this thing want to, I don't know, shoot us out its back end?
Vairaagy uncorks it and, like, smell.
She sort of like doesn't even try. She doesn't purposely do it. It's just as you uncork it, it kind of hits her nose. She reels back. Oh, God. Yeah, I get it.
That's how.
Disgusting.
I'll go and spread mine over here.
All right, you kind of come over, and instead of spreading it on these egg sacs, you yourself begin to spread it into the kind of acid pool. There is a shift that begins to happen. The folds of the stomach begin to quiver more as the last flask of yours is kind of poured around. The area sort of quakes a little bit. AG looks around and says,
Okay, I think that may have done the trick. In a few minutes, we may have a scaver with a very nasty tummy ache.
We need to find your scientist's ship before that happens, I suppose. Do you know where it may have crashed, AG?
AG looks and says,
From what the other plasmoids told me, the ship was destroyed. The Githyanki group are deeper in. But we also need to clear the blockage in the colon as told to us by the cook.
Don't know how much time we have. We need to focus on the blockage, I think.
Well then, I suppose we should hurry. As your pirate captain mayor, we should take flight.
he turns to you, Yllaonna, and winks.
Such a knowledgeable pirate captain mayor.
For some reason, Vairaagy has this innate feeling, and he kind of grabs the tip of his hood, kind of like tips it to AG. He's not sure why, but he did it.
AG goes to reach for the top and realizes that he's lost his hat and says,
Oh, shoot. We will need to pick up another one, Yllaonna.
We will have to pick up another one, AG.
The Githyanki says, Name's Besfa. I appreciate your help, but you may run into trouble traveling deeper.
There will be no trouble standing before us once I am through.
I won't argue with you. She kind of
Especially
throws
now
up
that
her
I'm
hands.
now that I'm my full size again.
All the same. What do you mean?
The rest of my group, they went further. This autognome told us about some type of arcane device that could turn one person into something completely different. Our leader, Fathad, wants it so he can transform himself into a formidable monster, so that no one will ever oppose us again. Unfortunately, I think I was backstabbed. I fell into one of the pits here, and the others raced on. I have a feeling they're trying to cut down the amount of people that they want to spread the magic item treasure loot to.
That sounds like your people.
That sounds pretty racist.
Get wrecked.
And me, as you are you, as he is he, as you are a bunch of people, I suppose.
But in this situation, yes, you are correct.
Well, fear not again. Nothing will stop us. Let us continue.
All right. As long as I can trek along with you so I can get out of this hellhole too.
Keep up.
She kind of hops on over. Is everyone going to continue down? You can now see another sphincter located on the western side of the room here.
Sure can.
All right. You all begin to head that way with a quick little schlorp of the collective pushing through. You all find yourselves continuing to descend deeper into the bowels of the creature.
That's almost what I named the collective initially. Schlorp.
Schlorp? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You continue to wind through the lower bowels of the creature until finally, as you are moving through one of the smaller, probably like crawling through one of the smaller intestinal areas, you can hear the sounds of shifting wood and hushed whispers coming from up ahead. As you push through what is left of this tunnel-like area, crawling through the smaller area of the colon here, you find yourselves entering into a room, or an organ room, if you will. Up ahead, you see two other Githyanki creatures, as one of them is eyeing a sort of refuse heap that seems to be scattered around, a mixture of wood and cobblestone and a variety of debris just sort of seems to be compacted up against this other colon link, as the other bald-headed Githyanki female-looking creature is kind of digging through it with her hands.
Oh my, this creature's backed up something serious.
This must be the blockage they spoke of.
Maybe that's why it's so angry.
As you say this, the two of them turn to you. The male with the longer hair holds up his blade. Stop right there. Who are you?
We have your friend. We mean you no harm if you mean us no harm.
He looks on, seeing Besfa, who now sort of shoots a nasty look his way. Oh, yes, we lost you, Besfa. So sorry about that. We were trying to find what we could of these items to perhaps help you with your burn. She sneers at him as he says this. And what of you? What are you here for?
We have what we need and now are leaving.
Well then, this area is unfortunately blocked. I suppose you'll have to turn around and head the other way.
Yes, you are part of the blockage and are to be removed.
Well, the blockage is to be removed. You can do as you please.
Well then, if we are to do as we please, let us get back to it. And you see the giff kind of crawl up onto the stack. He whispers over, "Hurry!" And they begin to dig through the stack more.
Well, I guess.
Anyone have good ideas for a quick way to clear this without just pushing it away?
I may, but I'm not 100% sure if it'll work or not.
You hear Besfa under her breath say, "Don't let them dig through there. If they find some item, they'll probably try to backstab you with it. They're not there to remove the blockage."
Let them try. It'll
What are
be the
they-
last thing they do.
What were they there searching for prior to us getting in here?
Any magical items they can get their hands on.
Okay. I want to ready my bow.
Mm-hmm.
It's a try to get aggressive.
Okay.
Vairaagy is gonna step up with his warhammer since it's the best thing he can think of, and he's gonna just kind of try to bash shit out of the way. And so, he's gonna walk up towards them, maul in hand, be like,
I'd recommend moving, actually, if you don't want to be in the path of destruction.
The male giff they both step over and say, "Whoa, whoa, 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 we've got this. We don't need your help. Just let us finish our work."
We don't have much time. You will move out of my way, or I will move you.
and that will be another intimidation.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use my advantage on it, my inspiration.
Sure.
21.
They both look, eyeing each other, and then back to you. He looks to you, Vairaagy, and says, "If you would permit me to have just 1 minute. All I ask is 60 seconds.
I look back to the group, and towards AG, and
Do we have 60 seconds?
No.
Or am I moving them?
Move them.
They don't got 60 seconds.
No. Yeah. No. Absolutely not.
They've got less than that.
Looks
Isn't
like the
that right?
decision's been made. You can move, or I will move.
Both of them sort of grit their teeth from your intimidation check, seeing... What's the weapon you carry typically with you?
it is a maul. It's a heavy two-handed weapon. It's got little spikes on the end of the...
Oh, shit.
Actually, no. It's more like one end has it curves to a point, and then of course there's the hammer almost type end.
They see you gripping this pretty menacing, large, bashing weapon with this maul in your hands, and they whisper to another as the male looks at the female and says, "Fine, step back." And they pull themselves back a little bit.
Smartest thing you've done all day, I assure you.
Vairaagy,
Collective.
I think our pirate captain, mayor, boner, overlord should have a look at this. And the collective's gonna form a pseudopod-like cowboy hat and then tip it to him as he was instructed to. HE.
And go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask him. You were asking AG to look at what?
The pile, see if there's anything that he was looking for. Kind of like, presenting before a king,
AG crawls over to the stack and takes a second to look at it before saying,
Actually, yes. This looks like some refuse from the structural outside of Bizwiz's tower. There may be something in here I can find.
He looks over to you, Vairaagy, and says,
If you would please permit me just 1 minute, 60 seconds.
I suppose for Pirate Captain Mayor, boner extraordinaire.
He begins digging through the refuse. Bobby, you hear the Githyanki male say, "What an asshole."
Yep, I'd say. I mean, look at that stuff trashed in it.
AG continues to dig through the refuse, pulling with his little construct hands, trying to find whatever he can. 50 seconds pass by, Vairaagy, and you're almost like, all right, there's nothing here, when finally AG grips something as his hand is inside of the refuse, as he says,
Wait, I think I found it.
and he raises up in the air what looks like a cracked wand of some sort. That looks like one that a wizard may use, and he says,
Yes, I think this will do the trick.
Oh,
Excellent. Store it for now, and we must get moving.
Yllaonna, this is a wand of true polymorph. But from the damage around it, it only has one charge left, something we should hold on to. Maybe exactly what I am looking for.
I understand, AG. Yes, I think we should hold on to it.
AG holds it in the air and begins flipping it around, sort of moving around the room as you kind of get ready, Vairaagy. As he's flipping it around the room, not casting it or anything, just enjoying the fact that he found it, you all watch as the Githyanki male says, "Give me that, you brat!" as he throws himself forward and tries to grab at
Hey,
the
yo.
wand.
Well,
Can I shoot at him since
Sure.
I have my crossbow ready? Okay.
Remember, you have an inspiration, I believe, still, and a +1.
I don't know how to read all this.
10 to hit.
The first one, yeah, there'll just be a 10 to hit.
Okay, 10 to hit.
Your crossbow goes wild as you see his hand wrap around the wand and begins to pull it away from AG. Bobby, you step up. What are you doing?
I'm gonna grab you. You grabbing stuff? There's no grabbing here. I'll make a grapple against him. So it's athletics or acrobatics. Roll off. I have advantage because I'm blobby. It's 19. So his DC is 19. Acrobatics or athletics check.
All right. You wrap your pseudopod plasmoid hand around the wand and sort of like try to whisk it out of the Githyanki's grip as he makes a contested roll. What was the DC to beat? 19?
19, yeah.
Rolls an 18 as you just pull free the wand from his hands. He grits his teeth and pulls his blade and says, "Damn it, we want something from this pile."
Well, there's plenty
Continue
of
this
crap.
and you'll get nothing, including losing your life.
You will be added to the pile.
Yes.
May I move forward towards his companion over here?
Sure.
Tell you what you get, and for free, you get to get the fuck out of here.
Nice.
You hear Bessfar from behind say, "Just give it up, you two."
Listen to your friend.
You see him grit his teeth as he sees he is surrounded by most of you, looking over at the female who just slowly kind of shakes her head back and forth to him as he just puts his blade back in its hilt around his belt and says, "Damn it."
Right? Take you, your shoes, and your shirt. Get the fuck out.
Oh, and if you have a motorcycle.
But Vairaagy will start
no.
trying to clear the path with his warhammer. with
Sure,
his
sure.
maul.
Give me like an athletics check to just kind of bash through the junk, kind of clearing a path.
21.
All right, 21. Yes, with a 21, you're able to clear some of it, kind of bashing through the refuse, knocking through the crates and stuff like that. Everyone feels a shuddering around them as the entire organ room sort of begins to constrict and expand. You all sort of like grip for anything around you so you don't topple over. AG looks towards you all and says,
I think the stomachache is kicking into gear. We may want to advance this blockage clearing.
Hey, Jason, I don't know if if it makes sense, but I've got the Crusher feat, which technically lets me move things 5 spaces when I hit them with my bludgeoning damage. Could we flavor that into me moving this stuff faster?
oh yeah, you begin to bash into it hard. Does anyone else try to lend a hand to clear the
Yeah.
refuse out?
Sure.
Well,
Anybody
Yeah.
who does, give me an
Athletics?
athletics check, please, to try and just
Athletics.
clear the
Oh,
junk from the
shit.
area.
I'll blow a rage just so I can get advantage.
And I'll add I think I'll add a +1 of that.
Sure.
For funsies.
what do I still have? A +1 or do
You
I
have
have inspiration?
You have both, yes. Slim,
I'll
you
use
have
my
an inspiration, as
inspiration.
well, if you don't want to blow a rage.
Thank God I used my inspiration. Well, I might have said that too early.
Wife gave you an inspiration a bit ago.
Don't jinx it.
12.
So, Sarah used that. Slim. Oh no, Slim, are you using your inspiration or using your rage?
I'll use my rage.
Okay. Jason used this +1.
All right. Yllaonna, you kind of climb up and begin sort of digging through the refuse, but there's just so much here it's hard to get through. But the cooperation of your mercenary rescue team kind of falls in behind you and begins to just either clobber through the trash or pull it with their various pseudopods, or Tylanys coming in and just sort of expertly moving the kind of keystone pieces that are blocking this area, and you all collectively are able to clear the refuse from this spot, moving it away here. As you do, most of it looks to be cleared. You can now see the interior of the smaller colon as it continues to kind of wane on into darkness, though most of you still have the sight that, you know, it's not dark enough where you can't see necessarily. I'm sure most of you have dark vision. I think I checked. Pretty sure most of you do. What's
And
that?
that dark vision I used lasts for an hour. I don't know if I'm sure we've been down here longer than an hour.
Probably not. It's probably nearing that hour. But since you've come to consciousness, waking up in here, I'd say a full hour hasn't passed just yet. Though it's
I'd light
nearing
a
it.
torch. Sorry.
You can light one, but I'll just say you still are under the effects of the spell from Tylanys, so you can still see.
Okay. I was gonna say I would write one, but I have no more tinderbox.
Oh shit, that's right. There's another shudder. Everyone feels the sensation of the entire area beginning to shift. Outside, probably from out of the walls of the creature itself, around this ambient noise in the distance, you hear.
I know that noise.
AG looks and says,
We should probably get moving now that the blockage is out of the way.
I'm
Let
so
us-
down for that.
Yeah.
you all
Let's get outta
continue to press on, trying to escape out of the area here, continuing to go through the colon. Everyone feels a shift, a shake, as you all continue to press on, trying to push away from the creature itself, trying to dig through what's left of the creature's body, the interior of it, trying to get towards the last bits before you can escape, as this entire area begins to rumble around you and quake. There is a shifting now, as if the entirety of the walls and organs, it begins to constrict, but it constricts in such a way that it sort of constricts behind you and pushes you all further and further towards what you can only assume to be the back end of Big Bertha. As you're pushed along, all of you hold tight onto one another, even the kind of giff group behind you sort of clasping onto whatever, Catsy and AG sort of gripping at one another close to you, Yllaonna, as you all feel this sensation of you being pushed through, and then you are
I love that we're all
ejected
12.
out into wild space. You feel the sensation of the ejection shooting through you. You look around now. The poop sticker was appropriate. You look around now to see surrounding you appears to be the large scaver that was difficult to make out before. Its size is just gigantic. It is huge. It's a size you've never seen before as it surrounds you, kind of like kicking and moving in wild space as it screeches into the air. You each kind of like grip at your necks, realizing that you are trapped in wild space. Although you have formed a plan to escape the creature, you are still stuck in wild space, knowing that your air supply is quickly running out. However, as each of you begin to panic, there is a ship, a space galleon that looks like your typical sailing ship, that is likely a spelljammer, that begins to approach each of you. You watch as several, what look like Yllaonna, you can now see drylanders, people from Relica, run out on deck and begin to yell, "Closer! Closer, we see them!" and throw a hand up towards your group. As the ship continues to grow closer, you all just sort of floating in wild space. You begin to feel yourselves being pulled into the gravity bubble of the ship itself as you see men kind of crawling up the poles of the mast of the ship itself and kind of throwing ropes out to each of you so you can kind of grip them and begin to pull yourselves closer. As you all do, you can see now that behind this space galleon are like a number of other ships. There's like 5 or 6 ships here that have all come along. And as you look back as towards the scaver, as you're using this rope to kind of pull yourself down towards the bottom of the deck, you can now see out of the end of the creature a whole bunch of plasmoids being fired off out of the creature itself. It seems as though the plasmoid clan themselves are being shot out. You can now see another space galleon as the scaver continues to sort of shift in its indigestional issues, kind of beginning to grow some distance away from you all, way too occupied by the fact that it is in a hellscape, shitting everywhere, to have any mind of trying to attack you all, as it kind of just continues to like squirm and shake further and further away from you all. The space galleon next to you all pulls up and begins saving a couple of the plasmoids. You all touch down on the face of the deck itself, finding yourselves safe, covered in all types of disgusting fluids, but safe nonetheless from your excursions through the Big Bertha scaver. A couple minutes pass by. Yllaonna, you find that these are drylanders who have been sent out to rescue you. They kind of throw you some like cloths to kind of cover yourselves and wash yourselves off with, kind of looking at one another. Yllaonna, it feels as though the mission between you and your team has come to a close now that AG is safe. The 4 of you mercenaries look to one another and find that it appears as though you have done a completed job. Is there anything you'd all like to say to one another, seeing that it seems as though you've made it out safely?
Well, thank you guys for letting me rescue my son and joining me along.
I am glad your family is back together.
Yeah, my rate's doubled next time for haunted houses, and he hands over the polymorph rod. I think this is what you needed.
AG takes it in a hand and says,
Yes, this is what I was looking for. I'm sorry you all had so much trouble. It was meant to be much simpler than this. I figured you would find my location, probably murk everyone that was part of the Githyanki group, and I could grab this item. I never meant for us to have to crawl through the innards of a giant space shark.
Hey kid, everything's an adventure.
I suppose so.
As he says this, Yllaonna, you kind of see past some of the drylanders on the deck, kind of finishing off, tending to some of your needs. You see Tall Cat push through the others. He clearly stands taller than most others. His well-muscled tabaxi body kind of glistens in the starlight as he kind of pushes through and comes over and gives you a tight hug, Yllaonna, and says, "I'm sorry."
There's nothing to be sorry for. We're here, we're safe.
He
We're a
kind of
family.
kneels and takes a knee to sort of match your eye level since you're a smaller
Whoa,
creature versus
whoa.
his.
He's
Um,
doing the thing. He's doing the thing.
He says, as soon as I discovered the note AG left, I knew you would have gone to rescue him. I wish you would have asked me to come along, but I understand why you didn't. He looks over to AG and says, I've been treating you with disrespect. I've been treating you as though you are not a part of the actual family. And for that I am sorry. You are a part of our family. He kind of gets up from his knee and walks over to Catsy and gives her a hug as well. She says, "Yeah, sorry, Dad." He walks back over to you, Yllaonna, and says, "I want to apologize to you. I have carried a duty with me my whole life to my village on Relica, to protect it, to take care of things. I grew up with the idea in mind that home is where family is. But now I understand that family is where home is," he says, and he gives you a tight hug. "Forgive me."
Hug him back. I just hug him back, and that's it. I don't say anything.
You feel, as you begin to finish the hug, a tapping on your shoulder. You turn and see AG with a wand in his hand as he says,
It is time. I can use this wand so we will become a real family. Are you ready to watch?
Yeah.
he flicks it up in the air and says,
Yes, it is time. I and all of us will become a real family.
he stops as you say that.
Wait! One more can for the road guy?
You see him shift and quiver. You hear the sound of a ding, and he pulls out one more can and throws it your way.
One more for the road, Roberto.
He winks
Roberto.
and tips his hat that isn't there.
It's Bobby and I'd kill you next time.
Before he does this, I do want to say one thing. I want to look at him and I want to tell him that we have been a family this whole time. I don't want him to feel like he needs to turn into a human boy to be a part of this family. Because we have a cat, or a Khajiit, or whatever the word is.
Khajiit?
Tabaxi.
A tabaxi, yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
You guys treasure
Tabaxi, who has a Tabaxi daughter, and then I'm not robotic in any way, but yeah, AG's my son. So I just want him to understand that he doesn't have to become human in any sense.
He places a hand on your shoulder and says,
I know. I realize now that I was always a part of the family. It was my mistake for ever assuming otherwise. But I can still use this wand for one last thing.
and as he says this, he holds it up in the air. And instead of pointing it at himself, he points it at you.
Oh.
With a flicker of light, you watch as the wand shoots out a beam towards you. It crackles in its hand as it cracks, and dissipates into nothingness. The last charge used. You are enraptured in light, your whole form scintillating. You now feel yourself growing taller. Taller still. You now stand tall. Your scintillating light begins to dissipate. Everyone around you now sees that Yllaonna, the darkling, has been transformed into an astral elf.
Oh.
I give a head nod.
Mm.
Nice.
Very cool.
I'll teach you in the ways, Yllaonna. There's much to learn.
Oh. Okay.
I'm an astral
AG
elf.
Now with
walks
the
up
sun.
and now looks up at you and points to the nearby stars and says,
I have been watching. I realize how much it has been taking its toll on you. Now, whether we live on Relica or wherever we go, you will not have to worry about the sun anymore. We can all stand in the light together.
he says.
This music, though.
Thank you, AG. As I bend down and hug him.
He hugs you back. You stand up, looking out now at the sea of stars around you, realizing now that in your new form, in your new body, you never have to worry about the difficulty of the sun ever harming you again, whether you decide to go back to Relica or whatever new journey you may take with Tall Cat as he steps up to you, Catsy, as well as the collective Vairaagy, Bobby, and Tylanys. You all step up to the edge of the ship, looking out at the stars. And as you do, the galleon begins to slowly drift away as we pull back and back. And that is where we will end our JAMMERCON special tonight.
Hey.
Yay! That was fun.
That was awesome.
I hope you all had a good time. I
Yeah.
tried to throw in a mixture of things in there, a little bit of combat, a little stuff. It's hard to get through all. It's hard to do a one shot.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you all had fun. I am going to send you all, those of you who are here watching JAMMERCON or hanging out on the channel, if you love D&D, I want you to stick around. We are not done here. We're still doing a full day of Spelljammer celebrations in terms of Twitch streamers doing their things. So it is 9 o'clock on the dot, which means I was going to send you over to Better Than Heroes stream so that they could do their thing. But I think I got a message from the chat saying I should send you all over to Bipolars instead. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Does somebody want to check and make sure that they are alive? So
He's
I
live.
can... Okay, cool.
They are.
Yeah, I'm going to throw you over their way. Those of you who hung out with me, whether you are a returning person of the community or maybe new here, please go check out my links if you enjoyed the content. I'd love for you to give the channel a follow. We do all kinds of D&D stuff through the week. I typically stream 10 a.m. on most weekdays, and then Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we play Dungeons & Dragons together. We just started a new campaign that Kevin was nice enough to put some details in the chat. It is Oregon Trail style D&D. It's an open-ended hex crawl adventure. It's been a lot of fun so far. The characters just defeated a sort of boss of the first region, so there's a lot of really cool zany rolls and stuff, and you should make sure and join us for that. Thank you. A huge thank you to Sarah and Jason for joining me for this. It was wonderful to have you both.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
We'll have to do this
Yllaonna.
more often, for sure.
For sure.
This was a lot of fun. So yeah, and thank you to everyone in chat for not only supporting the channel, but just being here to watch. I hope you're having a fantastic JAMMERCON day, and you're able to check out any of the content that you missed if you're looking for more. In the meantime, I'm going to send you on over to Bipolar Dice Roller, where I believe Better Than Heroes is going to have their special. So let me go ahead and get ready to raid them. Bipolar Dice Roller. Yeah, everybody, we all need to get hydrated. We're going to take some sips.
Right?
Sit
Alright, I'm
down,
gonna-
boy.
Make sure and give Bipolar some love. He is sort of spearheading most of the stream stuff today. He's been on in multiple streams. He's also over the pond from us US peeps, so it's probably pretty late for him, and he's going to continue to stay up late. In an hour at 10 p.m., probably over at his channel now. We're going to be doing an all-star stream where I myself and many other of our Twitch community people who are doing spelljamming content are going to be joining together to be players in a game where we get to just chill out. I won't be DMing, I get to be a player. So I hope you'll join us for that. But for now, please go check out Better Than Heroes content as they send you over to Bipolar Dice Roller Stream. Give both of them some love really quickly here. Better Than Heroes, so that you can at least go give their channel some love. Go follow their Twitch. I'm going to send you over to Bipolar Dice Roller. Thank you everyone so much. I hope you had fun. I hope you continue to have fun for the rest of the content here on JAMMERCon. Make sure and tell us what was your favorite stream during either the streams here or afterwards over on the Discord. Make sure and go check that out. I hope you have a fantastic night. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy JAMMERCon!